Hello, Daniel.
Hello.
Welcome to Cosentino again.
Great to be here.
Almost 10 years from the last time you visited Cosentino Promises. So what is the main focus of your work currently? What are you doing recently?
Well, first of all, I really like being back here at Cosentino. It's a great company, a family company. I really appreciate, and of course I use the material. Well, at present I'm a very fortunate architect because I continue to develop new projects. I'm lucky to get, new museums, new towers, new site plans, new master plans, new buildings. So yes, I'm a very fortunate architect.
Which project and which kind of surprises we will see in the near future from your work?
Oh my God, many surprises. I think each one of the projects that I'm working on will be a surprise because, first of all, it's in a place I've never ever built before, and second of all, because a program I've never built before. But they're united by one thing, that they are dealing with our history, with the world, with meaning of things, and of course with new forms as well.
During your presentation this morning, I love it how you explained the inspiration for each project that you decide to comment today. And in which way the COVID period of time has been creating inspiration for you?
Well, during COVID, because our offices were closed and of course nobody could work in the studio, I did a lot of drawing. And drawing is my way I develop projects, because to me that's where my architecture comes from. It doesn't come from just looking or photography, it comes from drawing. And I did really hundreds of drawings, and I have many new things in the works.
I can miss wait to see some soon. So from your long experience doing architecture, how do you say the architecture world today? Which aspects are today so different from the time of your beginnings at the architecture?
First of all, I think architecture is becoming more democratic. People are more participating in, why is this being built, and who designed it, and how does it affect our life? And of course, with our climate crisis and our world situation, sustainability and ideas about how do we not just preserve our planet, but go on with a good life. So I think architecture has become, in a way, much more social, less elitist, less just from top down, and more really public and open-minded.
Yeah. So regarding the future, what we could expect from the architecture to come on the next decade? More technology, less technology, you say more democratic, but can you stress this vision?
Well, technology is developing very rapidly. I think architecture will have to, there are too many possibilities and not enough forms. So in a way, architects will have to come up with new ways of addressing everyday life, how people work, how people live, families, and so on. So I think this will have a very big impact on what we see in the city, how the new structures fit into the city. And I think architecture will become in many ways more daring. We can hardly visualize today what is coming tomorrow.
So that's my following question. What is the role of the architect today in the society, and what should be the role of the future? What could be the main contribution of the architect as, let's say, a kind of leading the future?
Well, architects have to be leaders. They have always been leaders, sometimes more than politicians and more than industrialists and more than just public opinion, because architects have led in giving alternatives that people could not visualize who are not architects. So I think the role of architecture is very important socially. Architects will, I think, have to become more socially engaged and more politically involved, and less of the old-fashioned architect with a cigar and the wealthy lifestyle. Architects will have to become part more representing a public that is going to be demanding more solutions for everyday things. And also, I think, let's not forget another thing, that we should never forget beauty, that life without beauty would be a very poor life. So we should not underestimate the search for beauty, maybe in a new way, with new technology, with new ideas, but nevertheless, the good, the true, and the beautiful will continue to play a big role.
So it was almost 10 years ago when the project Beyond the Wall that you made for Cosentino, and at the same time that Deston was born. After you had the opportunity this morning to revisit the project and the sculpture. Which has been your impression or your emotion revisiting the place?
Well, my first emotion is I have to use Decton in a big way in my next project, because what I really noted is how fresh it looked. That, it's a decade old, but the sharpness of the material, the clarity of the material hasn't aged. And I think that's something beautiful, because the material is very abstract and, to me, something that I want to use.
The fact this bit of sculpture was made with Decton, which different you find if you had to make with other product different Decton? What is the
I think Decton is more direct in terms of a form, making a form, because other materials you have to collage together, you have to sort of build up together, but Decton is very pure. It comes in the different thicknesses and it can be applied in a very, I think, inventive way. So I think it is a great material and sustainably produced. I think it's a material of the future as well.
So as I mentioned, you mentioned, so you expect to incorporate Decton for a more, let's say, massive architectural project?
I certainly do, and I intend to go after this interview to look at the different samples so I can choose one.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.